Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts》Rett Swinson Mystery 这本书。好，我们现在开始。Freddie had climbed on the sobriety wagon nearly a decade ago and lived a mostly Spartan life, rarely dating, totally devoted to his art and healthy lifestyle. I tried to play off the battles with a humorous line, but my sassy, lively, bold, and full of spirit chicken. Sassy gay friend beat me to it. Stop your jabber joy and get your Blanche Du Bois ass in here. What is this? Blanky Du Bois alcoholic ass in here. Jabberjoy. Stop your jabberjoy and get your blank Du Bois alcoholic ass here. Alcoholic. I wasn't the first arrival. Resting on the couch was Peggy Kirkland, whose catering company Alan and I first engaged back when we were getting our business started. Peggy had long since swore off catering. Swore off catering, but she was busier than ever as the owner of three of the hottest dining spots in the Triangle. I knew she rarely saw her husband, a partner in the city's largest corporate law firm. Don't let us keep you up, Peggy, I kidded. Peggy opened one eye. Hey, Rett. Still recovering from last night. I had several employees at all three restaurants call in sick. I can't recall when I worked my fanny so hard. A woman's genital, person's butt top with time. I was popping the cork on the peanut grease when Margaret Strand showed up. Good timing, as Margaret was someone I could always count on to click a glass with me. Hit me up, girl, she said. My cue too poor. Like Freddie, I'd met Margaret in college. From the beginning of Swinson development. She was my go-to interior designer for apartments, condos, and retirement centers. Inviting someone inside is one thing, but you've got to make them want to stay. Is how she put it. The maxim described her love life too. She'd been engaged to 3 different men, but each time had broken off the relationship within weeks of the wedding. I felt good to be in the presence of these 3 old souls who were as messed up as me but somehow managed to get by. Margaret took a seat on couch and waved at me to join her. She kicked off her high heels. Margaret didn't go to the drugstore without being dressed to the nines. I've been worried about you, Missy, she said. Come tell me about this homicide in your neck of the woods. In your neck of the woods. The word caused Peggy to sit up, buried in her restaurants over the weekend. Peggy hadn't learned about the crime. Freddie, absorbed in sculpture making, hadn't heard either. So I had to start from the beginning. Once I'd finished, Peggy said, "How do you sleep at night knowing there's a maniac on the loose?" I feel somewhat safer staying with Lydia. Besides, I just don't think this murder was random. Until I said it aloud, I didn't fully realize I believed it. And how would you know that, Nancy Drew? Margaret teased. Nancy Drew. I shrugged. It was very brutal, and there wasn't a secondary crime, such as theft or rape. Margaret clicked her tongue. Where was the husband, boyfriend, or ex? You know, it usually boils down to one of those 3. Where Margaret developed her deep distrust of men. Someone cannot rely. Her deep distrust. Her deep distrust of men was anyone's guess. She had always been tight-lipped about her childhood, though I had to assume it was a privileged one, for she had grown up in one of the mini mansions near the 5 Points area of Raleigh. I shook my head. Her ex-husband was on the other side of the planet, and there's been no talk of another relationship. With Freddie right there, I didn't want to come across as assuming everyone was straight by saying boyfriend. Besides, nothing had ruled out Wanda having a female lover. I thought of Cynthia, never married, deep in mourning. Maggie asked, Don't the Norrises still live on your block? Who does Gail think did it? Honestly, Gail and Brad might be suspects. I told her about the Norris key role in the makeover gone bad. Have they said anything to you about the murder? I asked. I didn't even know you all were close. Not close, but a few months ago Gail came to me wanting help furnishing and decorating their Falls Lake house. I gave her a quote, but they haven't pulled the trigger. That's because they don't own the house yet, I explained. They have to sell their Woodmont home first. I'm no detective, Freddie said. But it seems odd to me that no one would have witnessed a murder in broad daytime. Where were all the trick-or-treaters? Still at the block party, I pointed out. There was one group of kids from another neighborhood, though, who were cutting through the alleyway around that time. The youngest child told the police she saw someone near Wanda's dressed as a dragon. Speaking of police, said Margaret, tell us about this detective. I watched your eyes when you mentioned his name. You are sweet on him, I can tell. I felt my face turn red, and not from the wine. I find Darryl a doting son and father. Doting son. That doesn't mean I want to jump his bones. It doesn't mean you don't, Freddie needled. You should bring him by one of my restaurants, said Peggy. Just let me know in advance so I can be there to get a good look at him. I would feel a little weird going on a dating while I'm still technically married. Margaret nearly choked on her drink. You are no more married right now than I am. Stop rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. Grab your lifeboat and find your Neornado. The Neornado who sprang to mind first was Leonardo da Vinci, a type who was definitely more after my own heart. Unfortunately, thinking about Da Vinci made me consider all the canvases I wasn't painting. I took a big gulp of wine to drown out the regret. 好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。